Mr. Transporters 96 here with another video. I'm going to be talking about a newly shown Hot Toys figure. This time it's from Arkham Knight, and it is the Arkham Knight as well as Red Hood. This was a shocking reveal. I have to say, I was very surprised when they showed Batman just kind of out of nowhere, a few months back. I definitely wasn't expecting it, but that you can kind of see happening. And even when they did Joker, that was, again, kind of surprising, but you could understand that he's obviously the main villain and one of the probably the most well-known comic book villains of all time, so it made sense. But for them to show the Arkham Knight was shocking, because obviously Batman and Joker, you figured they'd just do the hero and the villain, and that was it, especially since the game's been over for so long. So to see that they're continuing this line, first of all, is amazing. It has me super excited for the future of it, and then to see that they're continuing it with a character that I never thought would be made is super surprising. But here we are. I am extremely happy. Arkham is one of my favorite things. I just, I've only played one of the games, but I watched the walkthrough on all of the games. I really enjoy the Arkham world. I enjoy the redesign of these characters and bringing them into more modern and gritty takes on them, which I think is very unique and cool. And I overall really love Arkham in general. I've loved collecting the toy line, so to see that Hot Toys is now like fully embracing this line is incredibly exciting, I must say. So let's talk about this first, and then I'll talk a little bit about what I'd like to see from them. So this Arkham Knight figure, he is obviously the main antagonist of Arkham Knight. He was an original character, well, kind of original, made for the game. His look, of course, is very original. I think it looks very cool. He has a really nice, kind of mechanical armor pieces on a kind of cloth or leather-like undersuit, basically, which I think looks very good. He has like gauntlets and boots that are kind of armored up, and then his pants, as you can see, are kind of like camo. Kind of loose-fitting pants, and then his torso is kind of a mixture of like straps, cloth, and armor. I think it looks very cool. It's kind of interesting to see, like, it's hard to tell what kind of material that they're using for that cloth piece. If it is like a fake leather, or if it will be a little more pliable. It looks like he can strike some good poses in these photos. However, these can definitely be deceiving, so who knows how good his articulation will be once the final product is out. But overall, I think it looks fantastic. It's weathered extremely nicely, and it looks great. The Arkham Knight helmet will have lights at the eyes, which I think is very cool as well. But overall, he looks great, and as you can see, he does come with the appropriate pieces to interchange him into the Red Hood, which obviously happens in the game, considering this is Jason Todd, who in the comics, becomes the Red Hood, but in the game, they basically just put the Arkham Knight as a step before he becomes the Red Hood. The game's been out long enough that it doesn't, I feel like I can spoil that. But overall, looks fantastic. I'm hoping his articulation will be great. But even if it's not, I mean, he just looks so menacing just standing. It looks amazing. Not to mention, it's almost like two figures in one, I have to say. It really, you can, I would totally love just to interchange him every now and then, just change it out, every few months or so, just to keep the figure fresh on my shelf. And I think that would just be extremely cool. I do think that the Red Hood looks a bit better, simply because the Arkham Knight, he has these red pieces throughout his suit, and then just the blue on top of it doesn't, match perfectly. However, with Red Hood, obviously his pieces are red, so it's all red, which matches just a lot better. However, I'm more of a villain fan, so I think I'm going to like the Arkham Knight look more, just because I like the character slightly more, because I love villains. It is on pre-order. It's $245, which is the exact same price as Batman, a little higher than Joker, though. I think that's appropriate. Before this went on pre-order, I did guess that it would be $245. It just looked like it was, it came with just about as much stuff as Batman, considering he does have a good amount of accessories. He doesn't quite have a face sculpt, but he does have lights in the eyes as well. So, I think that's it's a little high, but it is a fair price. It's what I expected, basically. I'm just going over what you get with this figure. Of course, you'll get the parts to interchange him between the Arkham Knight and Red Hood. You don't get the hoodie, though. I know that, Red Hood, he does have like a full hoodie design, but that's really only for his side missions. For the main storyline of the game, he looks like this when he does become the Red Hood. Then you get an assortment of hands, you get some smoke grenades, you get 3 pistols, two kind of larger ones, one smaller one, a sniper rifle, a base with the Arkham Knight photo on it. If I'm not mistaken, the other bases, like from Batman and Joker, do not have a picture of those characters on the base, which is a little disappointing. Hopefully they change that for the release, but I kind of want all of these Arkham figures to be very unified. And then he does come with a backdrop, just like the other two, which is great. His backdrop is kind of like Arkham City in the background, but with the tanks and the helicopters flying in front of the city landscape, which is very Arkham Knight. He's a very tactical, military type of character. I think that that's an appropriate backdrop, which is very cool. And I think that you really do get a nice assortment with this figure. I think it seems like an excellent buy, and I have personally pre-ordered it already. I've ordered Batman, Joker, and the Arkham Knight. This might be a line where I just buy every figure they do, because I can hardly think of a figure that I wouldn't want that they could make. So that's great. I really do hope they continue this line. I would guess that they will at least do one or two more figures, considering they did this character, and I would guess that one or two will be shown at San Diego Comic-Con this year, which is next month. So what I'm hoping to see, I'll probably make a separate video about this, but the two that I'm most interested in would be Harley Quinn and Scarecrow. Really any design of them I would be happy with. I really love the Arkham Asylum Scarecrow. However, I think that the Arkham Knight one is just more logical for them to do, especially since he was one of the main villains of that story, along with the Arkham Knight. So I think that that would be the logical one to do, and that one would look fantastic. I'd be all for that. As far as Harley Quinn goes, I would absolutely love her as well, and I'd be happy with her Asylum City or Night design. I think that all of her designs are very cool. My favorite personally is the Arkham Asylum one, so if I had my choice, I'd go with the Arkham Asylum. However, any of the three I would be perfectly happy with, because she just looks amazing in all of the games, really. So I would absolutely love to see this line continue. I do think it's going to continue, considering they did him. If they just did Batman and Joker, that would have made complete sense. But considering they've introduced the Arkham Knight, I would think that Harley Quinn and Scarecrow would be more logical for them to do rather than the Arkham Knight. So I am thinking that we will get some more figures, and I am extremely hopeful and excited to see the future of this toy line. So let me know what you guys think of this figure and what you think of them continuing the Arkham line, even though the games are long over with. And let me know what you guys think about that, and thanks so much for watching.